PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News, local stories from your communities. On tonight's show, we bring you to a Veterans Day event in Plymouth, honoring those who have served our country.
We bring you an update on the garden entrance project at Duxbury Library, get a peek into the Philharmonic rehearsals, and we head to Kingston for a local food tasting event.
PCN visits Pembroke High School to learn what actually happens on Teacher Professional Development Days. And we hear about the importance of shopping locally with Plymouth's First Saturdays.
Our pet adoption segment brings us a new friend in need from the Kingston Animal Shelter, and Town Talk brings Pembroke's town administrator to the set.
It's a great show, and we start in Plymouth on Veterans Day. As part of a national campaign commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, local veterans held a Veterans Day celebration that gave Vietnam servicemen and women, including combat infantry as well as sailors and Air Force personnel who served, the warm and richly deserved homecoming that they never received.
Today we are honoring all of our veterans from Plymouth, actually all veterans anywhere, every walk of life. Today we're throwing in a special part of the day. We are going to welcome home our Vietnam veterans after 50 years. Most of them never got the welcome home that they deserve, and today is going to be the day that they get the welcome home that they deserve. As a 13-year Navy veteran, I am honored to serve the town. I am honored to serve with all my brothers and sisters here today. Plymouth is probably one of the first towns to take the bull by the horns. We partnered with the DOD, and there's a 12-year period to do the commemoration. We jumped on early because we want to honor as many Vietnam veterans as we can. So I think Plymouth is a forerunner in this endeavor. I'm a proud public servant. I'm very honored to be the veterans agent for the town of Plymouth and very honored to serve the veterans of the community.
The town of Plymouth is welcoming home its Vietnam veterans as part of our overall Veterans Day ceremony. And it's a day that means a lot to me, and I'm sure to all the other Vietnam veterans. After some 50 years to finally get the welcome home, it's long overdue, and I'm just so happy to have played a small part in making it happen. I don't want to say that we lost sight of the big picture in Vietnam. There was a reason we were there. But you know, in truth, we fought for each other. We were brothers there. We remain brothers today. When we came home, we always weren't given the welcome home that we deserved. America was divided. People were down on our policy and against the war. And unfortunately, back then, they weren't able to distinguish between the war and the warrior. And so a lot of our guys came home and were met with disrespect, insults, or simply ignored. So today, 50 years after that, to have us all welcomed home, what a tremendous feeling. I lost a soldier in Vietnam, and I'd like his legacy to live on. So I'd just like the opportunity to say his name and let it linger in the air. Spec 4, Ross Angelo Travato, never forgotten, my brother. I'm here with my wife and my family today, and it's a wonderful day to honor the veterans, but we can't forget the families. We can't forget the spouses, the wives. They worried about us when we were away. They kept the home fires burning, and they patiently put up with us and the idiosyncrasies we developed because we came home different from when we left. So when we're honoring the veterans, you got to honor their families also.
I guess it's never too late.
Right.
Those folks down at Memorial Hall just do so many great things for the veterans,
Yep.
and that's just one more on their list of awesome things
Yep.
they do.
And you know, the Vietnam veterans are so different from the veterans that we have coming back over the last 20 years now, because we know about the problems that they're facing, whereas the Vietnam veterans didn't have that support system. And it's so nice to see that they're honored in this way on this wonderful day. Thank you to Plymouth for doing that.
Yeah, they did a great job. Pembroke High School recently held a professional development day, which was structured to help support the social and emotional learners in the classrooms. It was a day-long event with several instructors holding various workshops. One such workshop was classroom yoga, so we sat in on the session.
What we've noticed in the last 5 to 7 years is that the student in front of us is not the student that was sitting in our classes over the prior to that. So we have spent a good amount of time this school year setting goals for our staff and our district in order to educate staff on how to work with those students.
There's an organization called the Collaborative for Social Emotional Learning, CASEL, and they've defined 5 different core competencies to be dealing with social emotional learning. So they are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, social skills, and responsible decision making. So those 5 elements are included in the yoga when we're doing it in the classroom. So if you think about the self-management and the self-awareness, that tends to be the stuff that's interpersonal, that's going on inside the body. And so yoga really helps kids connect in with themselves and be more aware where their body is in space, and also regulating their body in order to be moving and breathing in a certain capacity. So the other components are sort of more social, but in order to do group work and to be working together as a class, the yoga also becomes more social interaction, and so it really helps with the whole component of the SEL. There's simple things that we can do every day. There's simple movements that we can do to give ourselves breaks from having to sit in a desk all day long. There's simple breathing exercises we can do that can change our moods. It also gives the teacher kind of a framework of knowing, like maybe they're going to have yoga at a certain time of day every day, and so they have a moment for the students to kind of settle down a little bit. And it actually gives the teacher a moment to settle down, which is very helpful. They're not complicated, and that's part of the beauty of it, because it doesn't cost a lot of money, it's sustainable, it's easy to understand and start using in the classroom to change the atmosphere.
After today and the conclusion of today, we really hope we've educated our staff in really what social emotional learning is, and bringing back to the classroom strategies and tools so that they can better understand who the learner is in front of them and support them and infuse that into their teaching, whether that's a preschool classroom all the way up to seniors in high school. And really understanding and working with kids and their struggles is really how we hope to frame this day, so that people are walking away with more of a toolkit.
While it might not be much to look at right now, the Duxbury Free Library has a new entrance in the works. They're actually putting in a reading garden before the entrance, and the entryway is being completely reconfigured, so it'll be easier and more enjoyable to get into the library from the downstairs entrance. We stopped by to hear about their progress.
I'm very excited because when this project completes, and it's coming up soon, we will have established a new entrance for our library patrons, for our community to enjoy and love.
We are probably halfway through the project. It doesn't look like a lot when you're outside. You're seeing a lot of piles of sand and dirt, but actually a lot has been done. Thanks very much to the DPW in town. They did all the grading, they've done drainage for us, they've helped with the lighting. They've been incredible. This project would not be where it is without the DPW. So now the landscapers have to come in, and they have to follow the design of our landscape architect, do all the plantings, put in the pathways, and we will have beautiful sculptures, beautiful benches. So all of that's going to come in now. So even though it looks like it's at the beginning stages, there's a lot that's been done under the dirt.
Most of our parking is at this entrance. When the new schools opened up a few years back, the traffic configuration changed on the campus side of the library. Parking has been restricted there. So we really want folks to have a comfortable journey to the library and a safe journey to the library, and this is where we'd like them to park.
We're very proud to say that all of our money came from private fundraising. Many generous citizens in town, in addition to some of the local groups like the Friends of the Library were very generous to us, the Duxbury Yacht Club, and also the Rockland Trust Charitable Foundation was extremely generous to us. So we're very lucky. And I always like to refer to the library as our community's living room. And I just hope that this garden just extends that homey feeling, that people will come, they'll sit outside with their grandchildren or their children or their laptop or their books, whoever and whatever age, that they just see this as a destination. They use the resources here, but this is part of our resources, it's the garden, and that it's just a place that people love to go. Duxbury is known for our Powder Point Bridge. It's also going to be known for the beautiful Reading Garden Library, and people, it's going to be a destination. It's going to be awesome.
St. Joseph's Parish in Kingston held a tasting festival last month. There was something for everyone, from mac and cheese, clam chowder, and meatball hoagies to venison chili. It was all to support St. Joseph's Parish. PCN stopped in for a bite.
So today is our first, hopefully, annual fundraiser for St. Joseph's Parish, and we decided to have a food festival / taste festival. And it consists of 23 tables, 23 families that came together and brought just not the parish family together, but the community of Kingston and the surrounding communities. It's all donated by the families in general. So we put it out there to parishioners, and you can see that all these families came up with these ideas, and we have things like chicken masala, we have pulled pork, we have candy apples, and we have clam chowder, chili, and we have all sorts of desserts and fun things. As a parish family, we're pretty tight, and we're always trying to reach out to the community and welcome them aboard to St. Joe's, and hopefully it will draw some people in, and they'll get to know us as a family at St. Joe's, and hopefully it will grow and grow. So this is our first time, and so Jen and I were just talking about that. We're making our notes on what is working and what we need to tweak for next year. We had a couple of electrical issues because everybody has crock pots and things like that. So, but thankfully Rob Ford is our electrician, and he's right behind us, and he's doing a great job helping us figure out each situation. Hopefully you'll come. If you're not here today, you'll come next year. We're going to do it early September next year, so look at the newspapers and things like that, and hopefully we'll see you next year.
We're happy to host this wonderful food festival for not only our parishioners, but for the whole town, or the people who live in the surrounding towns. It's a very economical way that a family can be fed gourmet food, and we welcome everyone, the children, the senior citizens. There's a young couple that just moved into the parish sitting over there, and so we're happy to have everyone with us. Well, all the money raised at this food festival will go to the church, the parish church, that helps us and assists us in our outreach to the poor and to the needy of the parish. There's mac and cheese, there's chicken masala, there's 6 different types of chili, there's homemade pizza. I'd like to thank Steve and Janet, the co-chairs of this event, and all the 22 different families that purchased the food and made it and served it, and it's been a great community fundraiser.
I like the hot chocolates, which I ran, the popcorn, the pizza, the rolls, some chips, some drinks. They had mac and cheese. They had a lot of the crock pots there with a lot of meatballs and soups, pea soup. That Manana is making, and she's the best. I think that everyone doing this, even though I'm not the pastor, I say thank you, because this will benefit the church, as I've been going to St. Joseph's Church since I was very young. And this is something that shows good church spirit, and this is what we need to do. And I think that doing this will benefit the community, and it will benefit the church, and it's just really a good fundraiser for everyone, and it just shows how kind people are.
can't believe I'm saying this, but the holidays are right around the corner. Of course, that means the holiday pops will be right around the corner as well. We met up with the maestro to talk about what treats will be in store for us at this year's Pops.
When I think about how many lives we touch in the South Shore in a very meaningful way, my mind and thoughts right away go to our Holiday Pops concerts, our annual Holiday Pops concerts. We focus, our priorities are fun, family, and community. We have our March for the Toys, which is our benefit toy drive by kids for kids. You know, we play the March of the Toys, and we have kids come to the hall and march around the hall and bring toys for the needy children of the South Shore. I learned a long time ago that when people have the idea of a Pops concert, it has to be fun. So you have to go right away. You're going into our very large living room, and we're going to take care of you. We're going to entertain you. We're going to make you laugh. We're going to make you feel things, you know, and feelings that are really appropriate for, you know, a season of giving, the holiday season. We have great music, especially this coming season. The program, we have a large part of our program devoted to Charles Dickens and A Christmas Carol, where the orchestra is going to accompany actor Neil McGarry performing excerpts from the Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol. I grew up in the restaurant business, which is why I look as healthy as I do. And my father taught me early on, you know, it's not just serving someone what they want, it's treating them so well that they have to come back and they have to bring family and friends, or we're not in business. So I treat every concert we do, including our Holiday Pops, as audience development. At the end of that concert, if you aren't so dizzy with delight that you have to come back and bring family and friends, then I haven't done my job. So I make sure every year there is a good mix of the tried and true things you want to hear every year at a Holiday Pops concert, with a good, healthy dose of new stuff, exciting stuff that just makes you smile.
You love this stuff, don't you?
Oh, I just love them. They are just so, I've seen them like 5 times, and it rivals anything you'd see in any major city in the United States. They are fabulous, and there are no words. There's just no words for the maestro.
He's the coolest.
He is the coolest.
You know, I met him a couple of years ago, and it's like, oh, the maestro. And I was like, what is a maestro? He's like the coolest guy I've ever met. And every time we meet, he's like, oh, it's Brian. Yeah, I'll make time for you. And and we have a thing going, so it's cool.
Don't miss this show. If you can go see it, don't miss it.
Having a beautiful waterfront promenade like the one in downtown Plymouth can be a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing for the obvious reasons, but kind of a curse if you've got a business on Main Street or one of its connecting streets. The numbers of people visiting the waterfront have dwarfed those that visit downtown. And downtown has some great restaurants and shops. So once a month, on the first Saturday, businesses all get together to promote everything that downtown has to offer. There's music, art, artisans, and great deals offered by many of the stores. We stopped by in to talk to some of the business owners downtown to see what's going on.
First Saturday is all the downtown businesses that want to participate and are able to get together, and we plan and organize events monthly on the first Saturday of every month. Here, the purpose is to bring attention to the downtown, bring locals that don't usually get downtown to be able to experience what we're all about here. And it's a matter of promoting, having fun. We have entertainment in the streets, artists. The activities that are indoors are musicians, artists. We have a lot of charity events that we handle. We promote everything to do with the downtown, the community. The schools are involved.
Today we have music outside, which is a plus. It draws people in. And our main goal is to promote downtown Plymouth and small businesses. And by having these events every first Saturday with raffles and various things, it helps our business.
Well, we've been really happy with First Saturday. It has created some excitement downtown. Music has been an integral factor for these Saturdays. We've had some issues with weather, but we can't control that. And it really brings people downtown. People have come downtown to listen to certain musicians and stopped in some of the stores and the restaurants and said, I've never been here before. So it's definitely a draw, and it's a chance to meet some of the shop owners and the restaurant owners. And it's just been a really positive thing. And this particular day, we're actually celebrating Shop Local, Shop Downtown Plymouth, Shop Small. And we think that's very important. And the downtown, we've been in business 39 years. And so we've seen a lot of ebb and flow. And we are always hopeful. But we need people to shop downtown. And so we just keep trying to get people downtown and offer our wares and meet some new people.
It's really important when we find out there's 3 million visitors visiting the waterfront and only 300,000 come up to Main Street. We need to create an activity once a month to draw more people into downtown, to keep the businesses alive, because if we don't keep them going, they'll leave.
Pet adoption brings us to the Kingston Animal Shelter to meet two pets in need of forever homes.
The Kingston Animal Shelter has a dog and a cat looking for their forever homes. Misha is a handsome 5-year-old Akita Cross in the Foster to Adopt program. He has striking eyes and a very silly personality. He's been on limited exercise while he's treated for heartworm, but you wouldn't know it. Clearly an outdoorsy dog, he enjoys being outside in the run most of the day. If you're looking for a sweet-natured and super affectionate cat, consider Senior Kitty Brooke. Although very healthy, she's harder to place due to her age and because she has FIV, feline immunodeficiency virus, also known as feline AIDS. These cats can live for many years without any sign of illness. However, cats can transmit this to other cats. Her ideal family would consist of living as the only kitty, preferably on someone's lap, or a household with friendly dogs. For more information about these and other pets available for adoption, contact the Kingston Animal Shelter directly by email at kaco1@comcast.net, or go online to petfinder.com and search the Kingston Animal Shelter with zip code 02364.
Today's Town Talk brings Pembroke Town Administrator Ed Thorne back to our set. Welcome back, Ed.
Julie, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have Ed. Lots of stuff going on in Pembroke, but the big thing that you want to talk about is the solar farm. So give us a little background, a little bit where we are and where we're going.
Well, it's a couple years in the making. We had reached a power purchase agreement with SunEdison a couple of years ago. They had some financial problems. They were able to find a financial backer in Onyx, and so now we're going full speed ahead. We'll be signing a post-closure permit for DEP for them to look at, because we're putting the solar farm on the Cap landfill.
Right.
And
that's common though, right? That
yeah,
happens a lot
of
times.
Places have it, and it's a great use of the land.
Right.
It's going to be about between 18, 19 acres, and it'll generate several kilowatts, several thousand kilowatts. And I don't exactly have it right at the tip of my fingers, but we'll probably start construction on it in the month of December.
Next month.
About 6 months, it'll be completed. They call it mechanically correct, and then they should be up and running. And we're looking forward to that
summer.
Operation next spring,
Yeah.
and getting the benefits of our PPA agreement with SunEdison.
So we will get, if I understand it right, we'll get rent
Correct.
from it, around $62,000 a year.
Lease
in rent.
payments every year for the next 20 years.
Right, we're going to get payments in lieu of property taxes.
Right.
So there's a fixed amount that you agree on with the solar company, and that's how much the town will
Right, the
get.
assessors will work with the company, and they'll come up with an agreement an agreed figure for the 20-year period.
20-year period. And finally, we have a greatly reduced cost of energy for all our buildings, right?
Yeah, we will use 100% of everything that's generated on the site. And all of that is generated there will account for about 80% of all of the electricity that school buildings and town buildings will use in any given year. So we're looking forward to getting that at a very reduced rate, and that'll be a great savings to the town.
And we're green. That's one of the most important parts.
Absolutely
We're
right.
green. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now talk to me about the 2018 budget. It seems crazy that we're talking about that, but you're already going to start to work on that.
Well, these things, they creep up on you pretty fast, and here we are in November, and next thing you know, we're going to be in 2017.
Yep.
And our fiscal year starts on July 1st, 2017.
Yep.
So, and we're looking at a 3-year projection this go round. Usually we just try to send out our projections about a year in advance, but the town accountant and I, Mike Buckley, are looking at asking the department heads to come up with some ballpark figures for a 3-year project and give us an idea about what we can do.
Yep.
So
now, one thing that's a huge budget item, if I'm correct, is the health insurance.
That's correct.
And all the town employees, and that includes the employees that work at the schools, CPW, town hall, police and fire?
Correct.
Okay, so everyone who works for the town takes
they're eligible
from this pool.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's not regular Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's your own.
Well, not at all. I mean, we offer the Mayflower Health Group that we are a member of, along with 37 other entities, offers Blue Cross Blue Shield, Harvard Pilgrim.
Oh, so you offer that through the Mayflower.
Yeah, we have a nice little menu out there for everybody to look at, and they pick. Now, a couple of years ago, the selectmen adopted the Health Insurance Reform Act, and so we were able to limit some of the programs that we offer. It was a reduced savings, for the employee and for the town itself. A little bit higher copays, a little bit higher office visits, but it still was a pretty good deal for the town, and that's programs that we offer right now.
Okay, and it's expensive because if we have a $61 million budget, for example, it's almost 7.5% of that budget goes to health.
Yeah.
So
and so when we go up 10%, that's a lot of money that we have to find. And if we have a couple $1 million in free cash, I mean, you can see $500,000-600,000 is eaten up by health insurance right off the get-go.
But quality health care is incredibly important.
Well, it is, and it's a great perk for our employees.
Yeah, it sure is.
They get it for anywhere between 17 to 25% of the premium.
That's great.
Depending on what the collective bargaining unit they're in.
That's great. Okay, and just with our last 20 seconds, early voting in Pembroke was a huge success.
It was incredible, and I know that the correspondence that I've had with other administrators and managers on the South Shore, we were totally surprised about the outcome.
I think
but
this
it was
is the
great.
thing of the future.
It was great for the individuals.
Yep, it sure was. I know. I took advantage of it, and I loved it. Thank you, Ed. We'll have you back again very soon.
Always a pleasure, as I said.
And thank you for watching. Replay times and links are at our website. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for updates. You can find PCN on YouTube as well. We're off next week for Thanksgiving, so enjoy your holiday. A new episode of PCN Life is coming up right next, so don't you go anywhere.